Hi, my name is Grady, and I will be arguing for the affirmative that GE requirements should be removed from colleges. Significance. So, general education requirements prolong degree completion. They state that many students take longer than 4 years to graduate due to the unnecessary coursework that doesn't provide them any necessary extra experience for their career. According to Hansen, um, the average cost of college and yearly tuition plus expenses has gone up by about 42%. And another interesting statistic is that most of these students only graduate within 4 years. A majority of students getting their bachelor's degree now take within 6 years to graduate at 97%. These students would most definitely be better off if they could get right into course related classes without getting through the hassle of 2 years of GE, just to realize that their passions lie elsewhere and having to switch their major, which can add innumerable amount of time to their college experience. Increases in student loan and debt and more college. In an article written by the National Center of Education Statistics, loans for undergraduate students and debt for bachelor's degree recipients, the average student loan debt in the U.S. exceeds $30,000, with costs rising significantly at more prestigious institutions, sometimes exceeding $50,000 per year. Many GE courses do not directly contribute to a student's major or career, making them an inefficient use of their time and resources. Which leads to what basically should be considered a tax on students, making them pay much more for school that they do not need. Furthermore, in Hansen's average cost of college, they state that the average debt per student, including private institutions, is $229,620 for a bachelor's degree. Now, that's a lot of clams. Like, you can buy a lot, like a down payment on a house type of clam. Admittedly, including private institutions heavily skews, or admittedly, private institutions heavily skew the average. General education courses do not enhance career readiness. Um, GE courses force students to become masters of none in reality. Those students are required to take history classes and political science classes, even though that their degree may simply be kinesiology or, in my case, finance. Uh, it doesn't make sense why our students need to take history classes if they're an engineering major, and that's a huge problem with these classes. It doesn't make sense for the university to have them. They are simply money sinks for money sinks' sake. General education requirements are outdated in the digital age. Most of these general education classes can simply be taken on YouTube. There are so many resources on YouTube that usually cover the entire extent of a class. And right now, it just seems that um, most people in these GE classes use AI anyway. There is now no point in the modern era to have GE classes because you're just going to cheat through them anyway. Colleges benefit financially from requiring unnecessary courses. In a journal by uh, Brigham Law and Daniel A. Levin, who owns course materials prepared by a teacher or professor? The They argue the ethics of college professors republishing books and charging exorbitant prices and not fairly compensating the professors for their work. However, let's focus on the fact that GE courses generate additional tuition revenue and additional other revenues such as book and parking passes. Why should you have to pay $100+ for a history book that you're going to make use for a semester?